And intro noises! I am Quack, back for the last part, at least for now, of the Sekiro series that I've been doing, where I've been turning different mechanics from Sekiro into D&D classes and subclasses for you guys to use. And why did I say classes? Because this is the first and only, probably, Sekiro class called the Ashina Warrior. This kind of combines the Monk subclass and the Rogue subclass together into one giant 20 level class with 3 different subclasses. And remember, hesitation is defeat. So when creating your Ashina Warrior, you need to figure out what got you to the point where you are a weapon who is used in the military, what got you to serve your lord, or what got you on to the point where you were willing to sacrifice death in order to keep living and keep fulfilling your goal. Was it you being raised from birth to be trained to protect a lord, or was it you getting sick and tired of immortals running your world? These are some of the things you need to think about and possibly discuss with your DM on what your backstory wants to be, and figure out how did you gain the ability to not die. If you don't know how and you just have it, if you know how and that's part of your backstory, or if you want to figure it out, of course, throughout the course of the campaign, that is kind of up to you and your DM to decide. But in terms of class features, it has 1d8 hit dice, and you get 8 plus your constitution modifier in terms of hit points at level 1, and then at higher levels you get 1d8 plus your constitution mod. And in proficiencies, it is you as the Ashina Warrior, you are proficient in light armor, simple, and martial weapons, and then you have proficiency in saving throws for dex and constitution, and then you can choose 3 from acrobatics, athletics, perception, stealth, history, or survival. And in order to build an Ashina Warrior quickly, I'd recommend following these suggestions. First, make dexterity your highest ability score, followed by constitution. If you plan to focus on strength and heavy weapons, strength can be your secondary score instead of dexterity. Second, choose a soldier, outlander, or criminal background. Third, choose stealth, perception, and either athletics or acrobatics, depending on if you want to run strength or dex. Finally, select a tree or martial path. And then the prosthetic tree is the Sekiro prosthetic tools, like the flamethrower or the whistle or the poison blade. That is that kind of tree with all the prosthetic tools. The Ashina tree are the sword arts and different abilities you can do with your sword, and that's much more of a tanky class. And then the Shinobi tree is high burst damage. It's very high burst damage and stealth. And at level 1, you get a prosthetic arm. Whether this is from losing your arm in combat, or purposely cutting your arm off in order to use this technological marvel. So this allows you to wield a one-handed weapon and treat it like it's two-handed. So what this means is if you have a longsword that does 1d8 damage one-handed and 1d10 two-handed, you can one-hand the sword while using in your prosthetic arm, and it'll still do 1d10 damage. And it also reduces any strength requirement needed to wield a weapon by 3 when you're using it in your prosthetic arm. At level 2, you unlock the ability called Shadows Die Twice. And this is in the title of the name, but whenever you are dropped to 0 hit points but not instantly killed by some world-shattering spell, you instead drop to 1 hit point, which is kind of the same as reviving yourself. Then at level 3, you get a subclass, and then you get another feature at 3rd, 9th, 13th, and 18th level. Then at level 4, if you play D&D, you know what this is. It is ability score improvement, where you just buff your stats or take a feat. At level 6, you gain the ability Mark of Death. So when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you may mark it for death. This does not take an action, and this forces the target to succeed on a wisdom save equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dex modifier. On a failure, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you, but you have advantage on rolls against the creature. So although the creature will target you, you will also target the creature. And then on a success, the mark applies, but no advantage or disadvantage happens. So both of these are a very strong win. And then this mark will end early if the creature loses hit points equal to 1/4 of its maximum hit points while marked. So when the mark ends this way, the creature takes radiant damage equal to half your Ashina Warrior level rounded down times d8. So that you can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining all uses on a long rest. So this basically, after you knock out 1/4 of their health, they will take a ton of damage. A ton of radiant damage in particular, which is very good against the undead, which is kind of Wolf's whole thing. Then at level 7, you get an extra attack. At level 10, you you get the ability Block. So this allows you, when you would take bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 2d6 plus your dex modifier plus your proficiency bonus. And if the damage is reduced to 0, the attacker must succeed on a strength save, 8 plus your proficiency plus your dex, and on a failure, the creature either drops one held weapon or is knocked prone. So both of these are quite helpful. I like to give you guys options to pick what happens based on if the person's wielding a weapon or if they're not, and you can just knock them prone. At level 11, you get the ability Shadows Die Thrice, which now allows you to use the Shadows Die Twice ability twice per long rest. Now this is when we get into the interesting counters, because we already have Block, which is pretty basic and simple. Now we get into the very fun deflections that you'll see in Sekiro. And the first one is Lightning Deflection. So at 14th level, you jump up into the air and take the lightning or thunder damage and reflect it back at the target. So what this means in actual game terms is you can take your reaction to whenever you would take lightning or thunder damage, you can reduce that damage by 48 plus your dex modifier. And if any damage is reduced, you may immediately make a ranged attack against the attacker, dealing damage of the same type equal to the amount reduced. Afterwards, you have to move 20 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. If you can't move 20 feet, you can't use the feature. And then you can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. And at level 15, you get the Jump Deflection. And this is when a target makes a melee attack within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to attempt to evade. And to do this, you have to make an acrobatics check contested by the creature's attack roll. On a success, you take no damage and have to move 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. If you can't move 10 feet, you can't use the feature. And on a failure, you just kind of take the damage normally. And level 16, ooh man, this is my favorite. At level 16, you get the ability Mikiri Count. And if you've played Sekiro, you know what I'm talking about. This is where you step on the opponent's spear, or in D&D, this could be like some tentacle thing. You step on it, and in Sekiro, normally, you would also be able to get an extra attack. So this, whenever you take a melee weapon attack that deals piercing damage, you can use a reaction to reduce that by 3d8 plus your dex modifier. If the damage is reduced to 0, the creature must succeed on a strength save and either drop their held weapon or allow you to make a weapon attack against it as a part of the same reaction. So this is very good. It works on just about every creature. I tried to keep these balanced while also working on multiple creatures, not just humanoids, because Sekiro, whenever you would fight monsters, you really could not use a lot of your big abilities. But this applies to just about everything as long as it meets the main requirements. And at level 18, you get the Undying Shadow. So whenever you would use Shadows Die Twice, and you would drop from 0 to, instead of dropping to 0, you land on 1. After you hit 1, you heal half your maximum health back. And you do this every time you revive, and you can only do this twice, but this significantly ups your survivability, and it just keeps getting better. So this is why it has a 1d8 hit dice, even though it seems pretty strong on deflecting attacks. It's because this ability, even though you're as squishy as a wizard, wizards can't heal half their health when they would die, unless they get healed. And now, at level 20, Mortal Blade. So the Mortal Blade is the level 20 ability, which is a weapon. You gain a weapon that requires attunement and can only be wielded by immortals. You are now considered immortal from your Shadows Die Twice ability, because you would live on 1, which is why you have the ability to use the Mortal Blade. And if it cannot be lost or destroyed, because it reforms in your possession after a long rest, unless someone else attunes to it. So the Mortal Blade is also a longsword, but it does 1d10 slashing or radiant damage, and this weapon is considered magical, so it'll have magical slashing damage, because some monsters are immune to normal slashing damage. And then it also has the finesse property, so you can play strength or dex. Now, one of its abilities is Sever Immortality. So once per turn, when you hit a creature that is immortal, cannot die permanently, or has been restored to life by magic, the attack deals an extra 4d10 radiant damage. If the target is affected by Mark of Death, this damage increases to 6d10 and the mark immediately ends. So what this means is, although you are going to be doing you're going to be doing like 60-10 instead of 10d8. You also don't have to go through 1/4 of the monster's health in order to do this, and you can still like put up another mark after you use this ability, which is very strong. So It is still definitely worth it to use this ability, but it's balanced so the mark does not instantly explode to do all of that damage every turn. And now its big ability is called Mortal Draw. So once per long rest, when you draw the blade as a part of initiative, or after you hit a creature, you may copy one non-spell class feature or level 20 feature that you have seen until the end of your next turn. So this basically means you can't copy any spellcaster's spell feature or any level 20 features. Now this is to keep the class completely without any spell casting and no like 9th level spell shenanigans or level 20 shenanigans, but you can still copy Action Surge from a fighter or Sneak Attack from a rogue or Second Wind or something like that. You can copy some of those class features, which could be very fun and very interesting to like mix and match with some of the stuff you can do with this class. And now on to the subclasses. So as I said earlier, there are 3 subclasses. Each one of them are vastly different. This one is the Prosthetic tree, and this one is quite strong and uses the tools from Sekiro, like the shuriken and the spear. And at level 3, you get access to grappling. So as a bonus action, you may move up to 40 feet to a space you can see, including vertical movements and ledges without provoking opportunity attacks. You can use this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So this is very good movement and also lets you go up walls, kind of like a thief, but gives you more options down the road compared to thief, which is a rogue subclass, by the way, if you were unaware of this. And you can also kind of move around very quickly if you wanted to use this. Now at level 9, you get enemy grappling. So as a bonus action or reaction, you can pull a smaller creature than you within 10 feet toward you. Strength save gets rid of this, the enemy has to make a strength save, and that can stop them from being pulled. And then you may make a melee attack against them. Or you could pull yourself up to 10 feet towards a creature without provoking opportunity attacks, and again, this is uses equal to your proficiency bonus per short or long rest. These are considered separate abilities, so you don't have to worry about their uses overlapping, even though it is both the same grapple hook. They are considered different abilities with different use counts. Now, the Shinobi prosthetic techniques, which is the 13th level ability. I need to write that on there. Which now you gain access to Shinobi tools, and you can use one prosthetic tool per turn, and each tool has uses equal to your proficiency bonus per short or long rest. And your save DC for these is 8 plus your proficiency plus your dex or wisdom. It is your choice between dex or wisdom. And the first one is Flame Vent, which is an action where you blast a 15-foot cone of fire, and each creature in it must make a dex save or take 46 fire damage on a failed save or half on a success. Creatures wearing flammable material have disadvantage on the save, and the damage increases to 66 at 18th level. Now, these bonus action ones are normally effects that last until your next melee attack or the end of your next turn. So the first one is the Loaded Axe, which is a bonus action. So until the end of your next turn, the next melee attack you hit gains the following benefits. Deals an additional 2d8 slashing damage, ignores resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, and deals double damage to objects, constructs, and shields. So this is a very good shield breaker, does a lot of extra damage, and is overall a very good tool if you wanted to use this class. Next is the Loaded Shuriken, which is a bonus action again. You hurl a spinning shuriken at a creature within 30 feet. It's a ranged weapon attack, and on a hit, the target takes 3d6 piercing, and its speed becomes 0 until the start of your next turn. If the target is airborne, it immediately falls. So basically, this is a very good way to get annoying flying enemies out of the sky for your fighters or yourself to hit, or if DMs put you up against, if they put you up against different DMs, if you wanted to use this class as like an enemy, the shurikens would be great at getting your wizard out of the sky. Now we have the Loaded Spear, which is an action. And this means you must thrust a retractable spear at a creature within 15 feet and you make a melee weapon attack. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 piercing damage. If the creature is large or smaller, it must succeed on a strength save or be pulled 10 feet towards you and knocked prone. So in this class especially, I'm a big fan of knocking people prone because it allows you to, it's kind of like the staggers in Elden Ring or the death blows in Sekiro. It gives you a large chance to just start smacking them, which I think is very fitting for Sekiro and Souls. Next is Zombie Martyr, which is a bonus action, and until the end of your next turn, the first time you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, the target must make a con save or become poisoned till the end of its next turn. If it's already poisoned, it instead takes 46 poison damage. So you will not normally see this 46 poison damage unless somebody's playing like Poison Spray, but you normally won't see this damage, but it will come up every once in a while and is pretty decent damage if it does. And now the Raven Feathers, which I had to go back and nerf, because this is my third time recording this because my editing software decided it wanted to lose it. So the Raven Feathers is a reaction, and when you're hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to vanish in a swirl of feathers, and the triggering attack is made with disadvantage. So originally it was you took no damage, which was very strong at level 13, so now it's made with disadvantage and you get to teleport 15 feet. Next is Divine Abduction. This is a very interesting prosthetic tool for a action, and it forces everybody within 10 feet to make a wisdom save or be blinded and forcibly turned away. And if it's a humanoid creature that fails, they drop any shield they're holding. Next is the Loaded Fan, which is a bonus action, so it's going to be an effect. Now until the start of your next turn, opportunity attacks and ranged weapon attacks are made at you are with disadvantage. And the final prosthetic tool is the Finger Whistle, which is an action, and you emit a sharp whistle audible for 60 feet, and one creature that can hear you has to make a wisdom save. Beasts have disadvantage on this saving throw, and the creature is charmed by you until the end of its next turn. While charmed, it must use its movement to move towards a creature or point of your choice. And then finally, we have Follow Up. So once per turn after using your prosthetic tool, you may immediately make one weapon attack. If the prosthetic tool already allows you to make a weapon attack, instead make two. So this is just pretty much a free attack. This works on bonus actions, reactions, everything. This even works on the grapples, so when you pull somebody towards you and smack them with your sword, you can smack them twice with your sword. So this can get very interesting with combos and lets you make a lot of cool combos with the prosthetic tools, while still not making anything too broken by straight damage buffs. Now we have the more defensive-based tree, which is called the Ashina tree, where at level 3 you get Ichimonji. So as an action, and you can make one sword attack, and on a hit you deal extra damage equal to your dex modifier, uses equal to proficiency per long rest. So basically this means you have to use swords, you can't use any other weapons. DMs, if you're watching this and you want to make it to all weapons, go ahead. I think that would probably be a little more fair, so you can use axes with this even though it's envisioned around swords and katanas. And then instead of getting something at level 9, you get something at level 6 but not level 9. And this is Double Ichimonji. So as an action, you can make 2 sword attacks. On each hit, you choose either extra damage equal to your dex plus 1 to your level rounded down, or healing equal to half the damage dealt, maximum healing per uses proficiency bonus times 5. And then uses equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. So the thing about Ichimonji and Double Ichimonji is they are 2 very different abilities, so that means they each have their own use counter, kind of like the grappling hook. So that means you can double Ichimonji 3 or 4 times, then Ichimonji 3 or 4 times, which is pretty much the same as attacking, and double Ichimonji means you get extra attack at a level early pretty much. And then at level 13 you get Flowing Carp Defense. So when your block reduces damage, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, and slashing damage until the end of your next turn. Which just kind of means if you're fighting hordes of enemies, you can take some physical damage, then take even less physical damage next time. Because you only get 1 reaction, so it just kind of reduces damage even more. Next is the Flowing Carp Offense. So now when your block reduces damage by half, the attacker takes damage equal to your dex modifier plus half your Ashina warrior level at level 18. So this isn't going to be happening much, but it's a very fluid transition to get a little bit of chip damage here and there, and it is very rewarding because it does something even for half, because by the time you hit level 18, block is not really going to be doing anything besides reducing damage. And now we have the final subclass, the Shinobi tree. So this is the super sneaky burst damage tree, and at level 3 you gain Ledge Attack. And Ledge Attack, the first effect is you gain proficiency or expertise in stealth, and you may cling to surfaces without checks. So if you have proficiency in stealth, it becomes expertise, and if you have no bonus in stealth, it becomes proficiency. And then the main thing about Ledge Attack is, while hidden on a ledge above or below a creature, you may force it to make a dex save contested by your athletics check, or be pulled down and knocked prone. So this either knocks them prone if they're on a surface, or if you're above them, or if you're below them, you can like pull them off the cliff. And that is super fun. And then at level 9, you get the improved Mark of Death. When you apply the Mark of Death, you may attempt to hide from a marked creature using stealth contested by its passive perception. On a success, the creature loses disadvantage on other creatures. So basically, while this doesn't seem like much, it basically, when the creature succeeds the saving throw, you can try and sneak away from it, which means it can attack everybody, not just you, but that also means you get advantage on it without it being able to hit you back until the end of the mark, which is very strong. And then at level 13, you get the enhanced Mark of Death, which means when you hit a marked creature while hidden, you roll the damage dice twice. While this is not anything super duper crazy, you can get pretty nice scaling on this if you're able to sneak away from somebody who's been brought back to life and hit them with a Mortal Blade. If you hit them with a Mortal Blade, this could be very, very strong. And then finally, this is a little different, but it helps with like the Shinobi's like tricks and different kinds of weapons. And this is called Dragon Run. So now you gain 2 additional uses of Shadow's Die twice that replenish at the end of every long rest, like the other uses do. And when these extra uses are expended, one random creature within 60 feet becomes afflicted with Dragon Run. Taking 2d10 necrotic damage at the start of each of its turns, this damage increases by 1d10 each hour, maximum of 5d10. So basically this means you just like curse somebody to take constant damage. And DMs, if you do believe this is a little broken, especially if it hits you on the boss, you can make it only last for a couple turns, or you can make it like the whole arena and then you pick, or make it the whole arena and then you just roll and hope it hits a player, because 60 feet means you can just kind of run very far away and just clip the boss in its range and make the boss take a ton of damage and put it on a timer. So DMs, if you don't like this idea, just go ahead and just tell your players no. That is the easiest way to stop your boss from instantly dying. But Dragon Rot is removable by wish or an 8th level remove curse, so it's not permanent. The player who gets it is not just going to be instantly dead. And this cannot be applied to yourself. You are immune to Dragon Rot because you are immortal. So with that is all I have for you. A complete 20 level class with 3 subclasses, all for you guys to use and play in your games and to possibly annoy your DMs with. Because DMs, I imagine if you saw this, it was flown into the video was sent to you by it getting flown through your window, because players, right? If you are curious about finding the PDF that I'm showing you, the link for it will be in the description of the video, and you will just be able to come check it out. And any changes I make, any changes you think should be made, let me know in the comments, and then I'll read them. I will take a look at them, and if I do change them, I will pin a comment saying what I changed, who gave me recommendations to change this, and all of that. And in terms of the thing I used to make this, I used Nature Crit, or the Homebrewery. It's a free website that a lot of people use, me included, to make these cool professional looking D&D classes. I'm not sponsored, I just really like what they're doing here, and it is completely free. Just like this document, link is in the description, and if you do enjoy this video, or like it, or want to use this class, please like and subscribe since this is completely free. So with that, I will see you all later, or in the next D&D video, and thank you all for watching.